Mizner Park, one of the most iconic locations in Boca Raton, Florida. And not only does it identify as a key location here in Boca, it's a focal point of Palm Beach County. My name's Larry Mastropieri. I'm the broker owner of the Mastropieri Group based right here in South Florida. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, so you can catch all the latest real estate news and any other big happenings going on in South Florida. Enough about that. Let's take a walk around Mizner Park so I can give you a better idea of what makes this place so special. Quick and dirty overview of Mizner Park. It officially opened in 1991. It's basically a high-end mixed-use development project. It includes 398,000 square feet of retail floor area, which hosts 45 stores, restaurants, and entertainment, according to the park's official site. As far as residential, there's 272 apartment units for rent within this Mizner Park complex. You can see some of those behind me. And obviously, as you can imagine, the rents here are much higher than some of the other areas in Boca, but you can't really beat the location. Now, for the grand tour, we're gonna start on the north side of the park. I'm standing in front of the Mizner Park Amphitheater, which officially opened in 2002. This place hosts all kinds of live music events and community gatherings throughout the year. The official website says it holds about 5,000 people, which is pretty serious. And there's been talks about upgrading this entire complex, and the renderings that they've proposed look epic, but nothing really has materialized as of yet. Let's stick with the fine art scene. Right next door to the amphitheater here is the Boca Raton Museum of Arts. This was here long before Mizner Park ever came together. In fact, it was built in the 1950s. This is a cultural institution of South Florida. There are diverse traveling collections and exhibits of contemporary art from the last 2 centuries. European and American paintings from the likes of Picasso, Degas, Matisse, and so many others. If you're unfamiliar with a lot of the stuff I just mentioned, that's fine. So am I, very unfamiliar. But the museum offers all sorts of educational programs, lectures, films, and much more for both children and adults. Also, if you're on active duty for the military, you and your family can get free admission between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Right across the street, just south of the amphitheater and the Boca Raton Museum of Art, is Strike 10 Bowling Alley. It's relatively new, very well maintained, clean. It's got a bunch of pool tables, some air hockey tables, a great big bar. It's a great place to hang out. As we continue our walk southward here, of course, you'll find all types of restaurants, coffee shops, and many other kinds of eateries. I'll make sure we touch on any of the notable places a little later. I want to take you to one of my favorite places, the iPic movie theater. And if you don't know what an iPic movie theater is, you should definitely go look it up. It's one of my favorite places to come, whether you're a local or a resident. There's so many things to do in this area. And here on the other side of 3rd is the Mizner Park Cultural Center. You can see it right behind me. It includes a performing arts theater, which is recognized as a premier live entertainment venue here in Southern Palm Beach County. The studio here has a 300-seat black box theater, a 4,500 square foot event space, and a gallery with an open bar and a number of entertainment options. Needless to say, this space can be utilized for a number of special events, corporate parties, live shows, weddings, business meetings. You get the idea. And now let's talk about the food and dining options here in Mizner Park. What's great about this area is not just the variety of cuisine, but the options you have between regional/national chains and local establishments that are just amazing. Let's talk about caffeine. And by caffeine, I mean coffee shops. You have the tried and true Starbucks on the southeast corner of Mizner Park, right behind me. And then on the opposite end, you have the Subculture Coffee of Mizner. Both are great, and if you're a caffeinated drink connoisseur, it's nice to have 2 options. And the same idea goes for Yard House. Yard House is an awesome local sports bar, really great food. And then across the street, you have Ruth Chris, which is a very popular national chain. And then on the other side of Mizner Park is Max's Grill. So if you prefer familiarity as an out-of-towner, there are plenty of options. And if you like trying different things, there's local eateries exclusive to Boca and South Florida here too. And speaking about different and going back to cuisine variety, there are a lot of different tastes to sample here when you're running around Mizner Park. You have Kapow's Asian Noodle Bar, which is next to Locke Seafood and next to Villaggio Italian. Sur La Table is another very cool and unique spot here in downtown Mizner Park. They've been here for a while. They offer cooking classes, so this is great for a date night. They typically charge $89 a person. 2 restaurants that I've been spending a little bit more time at than usual is Calaveras Cantina, which is great for tacos and other Mexican-like dishes. And then American Social, which is relatively new, has a great bar, and there's a ton of action here. And that's all great, but if you're anything like me, you have a sweet tooth, and you want to know where the ice cream's at, where the candy's at, and Mizner has got you covered. They have plenty of options. For example, Sloan's Ice Cream, which is right behind me, it's just a few doors south of It's Sugar candy store, and it's on the other side of the street from Solito Artisan Pops. However you want to get your sugar fix here at Mizner Park, they got you covered. One of my favorite spots to pop into real quick for a quick smoothie is Pure Green Juice and Smoothie. It's right behind me. Real quick and easy, healthy option in downtown Mizner Park. And of course, Mizner Park has a number of different goods and services that their retailers offer, like clothes, for example. There's numerous brands known both nationally and locally, from Tommy Bahama to Salt Life as an example, and there's a ton of local boutiques such as Marcella's. Needless to say, there is a lot to choose from here in Mizner Park. And if we're talking personal beauty and hygiene, you can imagine Mizner Park has us covered there too. We're talking anything from hair salons to eyelash salons, believe it or not, med spas. There's even a local dental practice. This is an all-in-one walkable location. That's just Mizner Park for you. Parking in Mizner Park is relatively easy. It's not too terrible as compared to some of the other downtowns in South Florida, which is nice. You can see around me here, there's street parking that usually gets packed at night. It's usually relatively available during the day, but that's okay that it gets packed at night because there's also many parking garages attached to this complex, which is really nice. Now, those parking garages sometimes get pretty full, but I've never been in a situation where I haven't been able to find parking here in downtown Mizner Park. And now we've come full circle back to the Amphitheater. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Mizner Park. If you did, give me a like, hit the subscribe button for more content just like this. I'm Larry Mastropieri, broker owner of the Mastropieri Group, based right here in South Florida. And if you are interested in buying, selling, investing in the area, don't hesitate to reach out, set up a call, and we'll make it happen.